So he's out in Wisconsin campaigning for that today, except things didn't quite go maybe as planned, and that's because the poor guy just can't seem to read a prompter. Anyway, let's go to Joe Biden talking about all this.
My theology professor at the Catholic school I went to was a guy named Riley, last name, and he had been drafted by the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, I'm betting that was another prompter gaffe. Last name. He's supposed to add the last name, but he's just reading the prompter. You know, there's an art to prompter reading. I'm not going to kid you. I'm not reading a prompter right now. The greatest thing about doing this is I don't need to have a prompter anymore. I did, when I was at Fox, have to actually give them my scripts ahead of time. I'd write up my commentaries and they wanted to sign off on them, and they always signed off on them, but you know, they'd make these little changes here and there. And it was really annoying. And then the most freeing thing of all was coming over here and doing this with you guys. And it's just sort of very organic and it's very natural. And I just get to talk and I don't have to script everything. Another reason to subscribe to this show. Please do me that favor. So Biden can't just talk. And even if he could, by the way, they're never going to let him. I mean, they tell him exactly who he's allowed to call on for the media. How many times have we heard him say, okay, well, I think I can call on you, and I don't think I'm allowed to take any more questions, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this is Joe Biden. He's being controlled, highly controlled. So he's on the prompter, but you got a guy who can't read a prompter. I mean, there was that little gaffe. I mean, it follows what, a gaffe we had about 10 days ago? Drew, do we have this one? Because he was trying to read the prompter, and the prompter said, pause. Because sometimes a prompter will do that. You're going to pause for effect, or you're going to pause for applause, or you're going to pause to play a soundbite, or whatever it is. It said pause. And he just read the thing.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years.
And everybody started chanting, trying to save him there. I'm guessing that there was somebody, a plant in the audience, that was supposed to say 4 more years, 4 more years, as soon as he said whatever line, except he just kept going and he said pause. And therein lies the problem. So Joe Biden is out campaigning. Oh, what do you know? You see, Donald Trump can't campaign because he's stuck in court. He's got to deal with all this nonsense, one after another. Think about that, 91 counts against him, 91 counts, including 4 criminal. And yet the Michigan Police Union endorses him for the presidency. It shows you what the police think, anyway, of the crimes that he allegedly committed. Unbelievable stuff. Really pretty remarkable. I'm telling you, it is so important what's going on right now. It just is. And it's important that we get the right people there with the right kinds of policies so that we don't have crazy inflation, so we don't have crazy numbers at the border, so that we don't have these last minute efforts on the eve of the election to suddenly put in place a new asylum policy at the border, or suddenly put in tariffs because it turns out that China's eating our lunch on things. It matters that we do these things early on, that we have people with the right mindset from the very beginning. Because policy does matter. And this is why I'm so happy to have partnered with the folks over at Americans for Prosperity, one of the sponsors of this great show that you're watching right now. You can go to Prosperity is Possible or americansforprosperity.org. Go check and see what they're doing there. Check it out, you guys, because they want to make sure that we get the House, we get the Senate, we get the Oval Office, that we get the whole kit and caboodle. Because a lot of change needs to happen in this country. But the only way this change actually happens is if we're successful in November 2024. It's a big date, obviously, and there's a lot that has to happen between now and then. So they're out there canvassing every possible district that they can get their hands on to make sure that we have the right candidates with the right policies to actually move America forward. Because this is a great country. You know, I'm going to get all teary-eyed if I get into that. But it's a great country. It's a wonderful country where we want to reward this meritocracy system that we've created. We want to reward capitalism. We want capitalism to work, and we want to be able to encourage people to work more and keep more of what they earn. That's the opposite of what you're seeing from this administration. The opposite of what you're seeing from all these lefties who, by the way, think they are so much better than us. They think they're smarter than you. They know better than you.